Let's just start with probably the year to forget, and that is iron ore. Get it out of the way. What's your expectation moving into 2025? Do the prices remain under pressure given what we're arguably not seeing out of China and some other dynamics in this market playing out?
I think into the early part of the year, there is actually a little bit of support for price. Just if we look at where, for example, Chinese steel production run rates are tracking, and the fact that the first half of the year, they're going to have a relatively generous base effect because this year, as you say, it's not been a great year, and that was really concentrated, particularly in Q1 and Q2, in terms of when we saw that first leg down in prices and weakness in Chinese steel production. If we look at the second half of the year, though, I think that's when iron ore is likely to face pressure again. That's partly because you've got new supply coming online, partly in Australia, and also that just as we see that surplus overhang the market visible already in port stocks that we think will grow again over the course of 2025, there's a vulnerability that at any point that you see a bit of a slowdown in steel production run rates, iron ore will come under pressure. I think the obvious catalyst for that would really be as we get into potential pressures relating to a trade war, if you want to put a headline on it. Then one of the safety valves for steel production has been that China's been exporting more steel. And if you see any slowdown in these steel exports, that could be what backed up and hurt the iron ore market as we move into the second half.
So where do you see prices stabilising in iron ore?
I think in that scenario, we'd expect prices to probably drop into the 80s. That, I think, is an overshoot. And so where you'd be talking about a stable number is probably in the lower 90s, because at that point you'd have pushed out some of the higher cost marginal seaborne supply that you'd need to get the market into a more balanced run rate situation.